Imagine a world where Batman isn't just a legend, but a dangerous memory Gotham tried to bury. Over nearly 90 years, the Caped Crusader has been everything, from a gritty detective to a campy pop icon dancing on TV. But in 1986, a young Frank Miller decided Batman needed the ending he deserved. He didn't just write a comic, he forged a myth. The Dark Knight Returns brought back the darkness, shattered records, and showed us that even gods can bleed. Today we're breaking down the full story of this absolute classic that redefined Batman forever. Buckle up, because the ending is only the beginning. A masterpiece like this deserves a crowd that actually knows their Gotham lore. If you want to master the DC universe and stay ahead of every major drop in 2026, smash that like button and hit subscribe. Turn on the hype bell, because breaking down these massive sagas takes a ton of work, and your support keeps the Batcave running. Let's get back into it. Part 1. The Dark Knight Returns. In a near-future Gotham, we see Bruce Wayne in his 50s, driving a race car like he's got a death wish. He wipes out in a massive wreck, getting engulfed in flames, but he's actually hyped about it, chasing that adrenaline high. It could have been the end, but as he says himself, it wouldn't have been a good enough death. Right out of the gate, we're introduced to one of Frank Miller's most iconic tropes in this run, the TV news panels. It's such a creative way to make Gotham feel lived in and give us the boots on the ground perspective on what's actually going down in the city. You see the public's reaction and the fallout of the story in real time. This concept was such a W that other writers started using news grids to set the scene in Gotham for years to come. The news reports say Gotham is hitting rock bottom, enduring a brutal heat wave while the city drowns in violence. On top of that, it's been exactly 10 years since Batman was last seen, which is directly linked to the skyrocketing crime rate. It's been so long that some people even doubt Batman was ever real. Next, Bruce grabs a drink with his old friend James Gordon to reminisce. The vibe gets heavy fast when Gordon asks when Bruce last talked to Dick Grayson. Old Bruce reveals it's been nearly a decade. Gordon offers his sympathy, knowing how tough things have been, especially after what happened to Jason Todd. This convo might seem low-key at first, but it sets the stage for Bruce's complicated history with his sidekicks and reveals that Jason's death was the real reason Batman hung up the cowl. Bruce heads home through a Gotham that's filthier than ever. He's cornered by a couple of thugs, and you can see him struggling to keep his other persona locked away. He lets a bit of that bat energy slip, which absolutely terrifies the goons and sends them running. Meanwhile, at Arkham Asylum, where we see an aging catatonic Joker, there's a man covered in bandages. That's none other than Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face. He's gone through plastic surgery and years of therapy to be cured. On paper, Harvey is rehabilitated, but did the treatment actually stick? Back in Wayne Manor, Bruce is haunted by his dreams. He revisits the fall into the well that would become the Batcave, where a giant bat first traumatized him. He wakes up in a familiar place, the Batcave itself. Surrounded by trophies of the past, Alfred finds him and asks what happened to his mustache. It's like the Batman persona is clawing its way out, forcing Bruce back to where it all started, so he can rise again. Across town, a bandaged Harvey Dent flips his coin to show he's back in the game. Back at the manor, Bruce tries to watch a movie, but of course, the Mark of Zorro is playing. It forces him to relive his parents' murder, torturing him with that memory over and over. He tries to flip the channel, but all he sees is Gotham's carnage. Thunder rumbles, and suddenly a bat crashes through the window. It was only a matter of time. The bat was about to break free. In Gotham, a wave of brutal crimes breaks out. A young woman is attacked, a criminal bails from a taxi, but they're all shut down by a mysterious figure. At an arcade, two girls heading home are intercepted by a cyberpunk-style gang, the Mutants. Someone attacks the gang from the shadows, leaving one of the girls, Carrie Kelly, completely obsessed. This is some major foreshadowing for what's coming next. The news is all over the vigilante's return. Two cops chasing criminals spot a figure in the skyline, and there he is. The rain hits his chest like a baptism. He's being reborn. the Dark Knight is back. He drops onto the hood of a getaway car, forcing the thugs into a construction site, his ideal hunting ground. He turns to the cops and simply says, "These men are mine." He moves like a creature of the night, picking them off one by one. When only one thug is left conscious, Batman finds a coin on him, but both sides are scarred. Meanwhile, at Arkham, the inmates are watching the news about Batman's return. Among them is the Joker, who snaps out of his catatonia with a chilling smile. It's like Batman's absence took away his reason to exist, and now the Clown Prince has to laugh again. Later that night, Bruce and Gordon talk about Dent's return, leading the Bats to visit one of Harvey's goons for intel. With the bat signal lighting up the sky for the first time in a decade, Batman and Commissioner Gordon prep to face Two-Face, who plans to use identical helicopters to attack Gotham's Twin Towers. Batman moves fast, using a bat hook rifle to intercept Harvey's chopper and drag him into a building. Finally, we see what's inside the villain's head. In his twisted psyche, the scarred side of his face was his human side. Now that his face is fixed, he feels like he's lost his good half entirely. Part 2. Dark Knight Triumphant. Days pass, and we see Gordon walking the city. He's about to retire, but first, he's targeted by the Mutant Gang. A member attacks, and Gordon doesn't miss a beat, reacting instantly. We see that Batman's return has inspired a new generation, like Carrie Kelly. The girl Batman saved is now rocking a Robin suit and has decided to become a vigilante herself. On TV, we see Gordon survive the hit, but the Mutant Leader sends a message. Batman is now their #1 target. After that, Mutant Gang members take a kid hostage. Suddenly, a bat flutters into the room, but one of the thugs doesn't even hesitate. He's ready to spray bullets at Batman, even if it means hitting his own partner. Next thing you know, Batman smashes through the wall right behind one of the gang members and uses her own machine gun to lay down fire, taking her out and saving the kid. This scene is a bit controversial because the comic doesn't make it 100% clear if Batman killed. However, the story later confirms the person survived. Miller emphasizes throughout this Batman hates guns, even if he uses them for tactical strikes. Next, the Caped Crusader interrogates a gang member in the shadows, but as soon as Batman pulls his hand away from the thug's face, it's revealed they're actually hanging upside down from a gargoyle on the city's tallest skyscraper. Meanwhile, the new Robin is out there doing her best to fight crime, eventually crossing paths with a group from the Mutant Gang. They're talking about a massive meetup at the Gotham dump, and hoping to catch a glimpse of her idol, Robin finds a way to hitch a ride. If it's a war these mutants want, it's a war they're gonna get, because Batman is more than ready. Behind the wheel of the Batmobile, which is basically a tank, Bruce rolls up to the dump to face the gang. The Mutant Leader's mid-speech when Batman interrupts, ordering everyone to surrender. Obviously, that's not happening, and all-out war breaks out. Bruce uses rubber bullets to clear the field, doing a total clean sweep with his powerhouse rig until almost no one is standing. But then, the Mutant Leader steps up, standing solo against the Batmobile. He calls Batman a coward and demands a fair fight. He wants a one-on-one, mano a mano, and of course, Batman takes the bait. The fight is brutal. They're trading blows, but Bruce is feeling his age. He's gassing out and on the verge of catching an L. Just when it looks like Batman is finished, Robin jumps in and distracts the leader, giving Bruce the opening he needs to hobble him and get out alive. Inside the Batmobile, Carrie patches Bruce up as best as she can, keeping him stable until they reach the cave. Later, Carrie is low-key fangirling over the Robin suit when Bruce shows up, fully recovered and ready for round 2. Even though he's still traumatized by what happened to Jason, Bruce knows the war isn't over and he needs soldiers. He officially names Carrie his new Robin, but first, she's gotta go through the ringer with some training. For her first mission, Robin goes undercover as a mutant at an arcade, a major gang hangout. She infiltrates the group and spreads word about a massive meeting at Gotham's West River. Meanwhile, the mutant leader is rotting in jail when the lights cut out and his cell door pops open. He hears Batman's voice, ordering him out through a vent that leads straight to the river. The entire mutant army gathers there to watch the main event, a rematch. Batman set this up so the entire gang would see him break their leader. He's playing the long game to earn the respect through fear. They scrap in a mud pit, giving it everything they've got. But this time, Batman is prepared. He delivers a brutal beatdown that completely humiliates the guy. Then he drops one of the hardest lines in comic history. "This isn't a mud hole, it's an operating table, and I'm the surgeon." With his leg snapped, the mutant leader is done, humiliated. Batman wins, and the gang doesn't just fear him, they respect and admire him. The mutants are dead, now they follow the Bat. They are the sons of Batman. With the mutant threat finally squashed, Gordon can finally retire in peace. But there's a catch. The new police commissioner is stepping up, and she's strictly anti-Batman. That alliance Bruce had with the cops is officially over. Gotham isn't getting peace anytime soon though, because someone is watching the city from above, thinking to himself what an idiot Bruce had been.
Part 3. Hunt the Dark Knight. A neo-Nazi gang is robbing a shop when an old lady suddenly attacks them with batarangs. The gang leader tries to run, but Robin cuts her off, giving the old lady, who is actually Bruce in disguise, time to close in. Suddenly, a blue blur streaks past. The criminal's gun literally melts, and pipes bend themselves to trap her. Bruce rips off the mask and tells his old friend to meet him the next morning. That friend, Superman. But after a decade, is their bond still the same? In the morning, Clark finally shows up for a real talk. He hasn't aged the day. Clark makes it clear he doesn't want beef, but he knows sooner or later the higher-ups will order Batman's arrest, and Superman will have to step in. Bruce just tells him that when that time comes, the best man wins. Right away, we see this version of Superman is basically the president's lapdog. He only moves when the government gives the green light, which was a hot take that didn't sit well with a lot of readers. Meanwhile, at Arkham, the Joker's prepping for a talk show appearance. The narrative is that he's rehabilitated, but we know better. Batman is ready to crash the show, but he's the one who gets blindsided when he realizes the cops are waiting for him. The new commissioner, Helen Indahl, is leading a full-blown manhunt for the Bat. The Joker's interview starts and he calmly announces he's going to kill everyone in the room. The hosts laugh it off as a joke, but his sense of humor is about to turn deadly. While Batman's brawling with the cops and Robin is doing her best to back him up, it's already too late. At the talk show, a doll starts venting Joker gas and hundreds of people die instantly. Now that Batman's back, it was only a matter of time before the Joker made his move. Bruce's investigation leads him to Selina Kyle, who used to be Catwoman. He finds her tied up in a Wonder Woman costume, and she warns him that Joker is on a whole new level of crazy. Bruce starts wondering how many more bodies have to drop before he finally puts the clown down for good. Joker knows Batman is coming, and he leaves a breadcrumb trail, cotton candy, which means only one thing: the county fair. Still pursued by the cops, Batman and Robin pull off a high-stakes escape using a bat glider. Robin almost falls when her gear snaps, but Bruce catches her just in time. With the cops out of the way, nothing stands between Batman and Joker. This ends tonight. At the fair, Joker is spreading mindless chaos, even going as far as handing out bomb dolls to kids. The dynamic duel hits the scene shortly after, marking the beginning of what would be the final showdown between Batman and the Joker. The hero chases the villain down as Joker sprays bullets aimlessly, but the Dark Knight isn't letting anyone else get hurt. He's locked in to stop the Joker once and for all, while the clown racks up more victims trying to lose Batman inside the Hall of Mirrors. The chase leads them into the Tunnel of Love, where the fight gets absolutely brutal as Batman finally catches up to him. Finally, Bruce gathers the nerve to break Joker's neck, but he can't bring himself to finish the job. Joker knows there are no witnesses. If he kills himself, the world will think Batman did it. He snapped his own neck, laughing his last breath. As sirens close in, Batman knows he'll be framed as a murderer. He thinks to himself, maybe he should have been. Part 4. The Dark Knight Falls. The Joker is dead, But Batman is now branded a murderer and a fugitive. The cops surround the Dark Knight, ready to take him in by any means necessary. Bruce uses his last bit of strength to escape with Carrie's help in the Batcopter. Back at the cave, a beat-up Bruce is resting, but he's far from okay. Gotham is a mess. The sons of Batman are cleaning up the streets with extreme violence, while up in the atmosphere, Superman is intercepting a Soviet nuke. Remember, this was written during the peak of the Cold War.
Superman manages to detonate the nuke in a safe zone, but it's not a free win for him. Even from a distance, the blast is so insane that it triggers an EMP, blacking out most of the world, including Gotham. Bruce suits up and heads out with Robin to save the city from the threat that's looming. In Gotham, prison doors fly open and absolute chaos hits the streets, while the sons of Batman prep for a violent crackdown. It's not long before we see how badly the explosion wrecks Superman, leaving him in this terrifying skeletal state.
Gotham is drowning in madness, but then the Dark Knight himself emerges on a black stallion. He rallies the troops, ordering them to help him save the city the right way, clean and without guns. A week later, the sky over Gotham is still pitch black. Bruce catches up with his old friend Oliver Queen, who knows exactly what's coming. Batman versus Superman. The former Green Arrow asked for a solid. When the fight goes down, he wants in. Speaking of the Man of Steel, a blur streaks past Bruce, and using his heat vision to write in the snow, Clark asks where they're meeting. The Dark Knight's answer, Crime Alley. Bruce starts gearing up for the fight of his life, suiting up in a massive, custom-built power armor. He pops a pill and, thinking to himself, he knows this is it. This is the end. Superman starts hunting for the Bat when he's suddenly tagged by a projectile. He spots the Batmobile hidden behind the wall, rips it open, and finds Robin inside. It's not long before he finds the Bat himself exactly where they agreed to meet. The fight is pure intensity, no small talk, no dialogue, just straight action. Bruce isn't playing fair. He's being as brutal as humanly possible because he knows Clark can take it. Meanwhile, Oliver Queen is in position to take his shot at Supes when the authorities catch him off guard. With that plan looking like an L, Bruce has to improvise and break out the gadgets. Inside Batman's armor, a timer is ticking down, less than a minute until his final moment. Whatever happens, Batman had a prep time plan. Finally, Oliver manages to fire a kryptonite arrow at Superman, weakening him just enough for Batman to land a series of heavy blows. The fight reaches the peak of insanity, leading to one of the most legendary lines in history. I want you to remember, Clark, and all the years to come, remember the man who beat you. The timer hits 0 and Bruce just goes out. He suffers a massive heart attack and collapses. Back at the ruins of Wayne Manor, which is currently engulfed in flames, old Alfred meets the same fate. At Bruce's funeral, Clark joins Bruce's old circle at the cemetery. Suddenly, he hears something. A heartbeat that was dead quiet is now thumping. Clark realizes Bruce is still alive, but he's a real one. He keeps the secret and walks away. In the final moment of the story, Bruce and Carrie, alongside the Sons of Batman, are prepping a brand new Batcave. Batman will never die, and he's finally about to have a life worth living. Frank Miller pulled off the impossible. He wrote the perfect origin in year 1 and the definitive finale right here. For many, this is the ultimate 10 out of 10, featuring the Superman showdown that changed pop culture forever. But if you think the chaos ends here, just wait until we hit the sequel. It gets way more controversial. To truly understand how Batman reached this level of prep time, you have to check out my other video on Batman Year 1, the full story. Click right here to see how the myth began before we watch how it falls. Peace out, guys.